back to my channel. It is your girl Courtney Lauren, back with another recipe, and we are doing another side dish today. I'm going to be showing you guys how to make the perfectly cooked white rice. Y'all heard that correctly. Perfectly cooked white rice. Now, if you're anything like how I used to be in the past, I struggled so bad making rice. It was crunchy, it was mushy, I burned it, not enough water, too much water. I mean, literally, I could make a filet mignon to the gods, but I could not make a pot of rice. But now, I know how to make the perfect pot of rice. And I really want to show you guys how to do this because getting older, I realize not a lot of people know how to make rice. So like, I don't even feel bad the fact that I just learned how to do this like a couple of years ago, because literally that boil in a bag that you see at Walmart, that was me. That was on me, honey. So if you guys want to learn how to make perfectly cooked rice, continue watching and let's get started. Okay guys, let's get started. So here I have a bag of some long grain white rice. This is the rice I'm going to be using today. I'm also going to be using some olive oil and some salt. Like I said, this is 4 ingredients. That's it. All right, first things first, I'm going to measure out 4 cups of this rice. I'm feeding a family of 4. I have 2 kids and a husband, so I'm making 4 cups. But if it's just for 1 or 2 people, you guys can do 2 cups of rice instead. And for 2 cups of rice, you need 2.5 cups of water. So you do everything the same except 2 cups of rice and 2.5 cups. But I'm making double the recipe. All right, so now that I measured out all my rice, I'm going to wash it. I know I did this in a previous video, but you really want to make sure you wash your rice and get all that starch off of it. You see how the water looks like milk almost? That means we got to get that starch up off of this rice. So you're going to want to do this a couple of times. Normally, I just get a bowl and put some water in it and get a spoon. Sometimes I even get my hands in there and start swishing around the rice with my hands. However you guys want to clean it, that's up to you. But as you can see, the water is already starting to look more clear and you can actually see the rice through the water. That is what we want. We want the water to be as clear as possible. So like I said, normally I do this about 2 or 3 times. And just so I can make sure that my rice is nice and washed, and the more of that starch you get off of the rice, the fluffier and more perfect it will be. Alright, so now that I'm done cleaning my rice, I went ahead and drained all that water off. I'm going to start cooking it. So I'm using my caldero again, my ironclad pot. I will link this pot down for you guys below. And my stove is preheating. You're going to want this to be on like a medium-high heat because we really want to get that water that's in our pot absorbed. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my rice. I'm going to just put all of the rice right into my pot. After we get all of our rice in our pot, we're going to measure out 5 cups of water. Again, my stove right now is on medium-high heat, so it's on about a 7. We really want to bring this to a nice boil because once we add in our 5 cups of water, we're going to let this boil until most of the water is absorbed. So like I said, we really want this to come to a boil, so anywhere between 7 or 8 on your stove should be perfect. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and do my spoon trick. You know, once you can stand a spoon up in your rice, you have the perfect rice to water ratio. We're going to season this very generously with salt. And then I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of olive oil as well. And once we add in our oil, we're going to go ahead and grab our spoon and we're just going to mix that around just so that we can make sure that that salt dissolves nice and evenly into our water and everything is kind of all evenly incorporated together. And like I said, we are going to wait for this to come to a nice boil. So as you can see here, my pot started getting a little bubbly, and once it really started heating up, all that water started to evaporate, and that is exactly what we are looking for. Alright, so now that my rice is nice and boiling, I like to turn this around quite frequently because I don't want the rice to start sticking to the bottom of my pot. So I'm just going to stir this frequently up until I pretty much put the lid on it, and as you can see, that water is already starting to evaporate, and we really want to wait until there's just about no more water left before we turn our stove down low and cover it up. Alright, so now that most of the water is gone, this is the perfect time to turn your stove down low. My stove is going to be on a 1. We're going to cover this up and we're going to let this cook for 30 minutes, and do not lift that lid a minute before. Alright guys, it's been 30 minutes. We're going to go ahead and lift that lid, and as you can see, the rice is perfectly cooked. After 30 minutes, you will have beautifully fluffy cooked rice, and it will be perfect every single time, I assure you. Again, I will link this pot down below in the description box for you guys, but yeah, that's all there is to it to get beautifully cooked rice. And this is the finished product. Like I said, it's perfectly cooked, it's fluffy, it's just everything, it's just perfect. So if you guys like this video, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, and I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.